Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you are new, please hit the subscribe button. I'm going to be putting out a lot more consistent replay content, lots of just ranked ladder replays of decks that I play against matchups that I think are pretty cool. In today's replay, we're going to be using our True Draco list, and I like it. I really like this deck. It's really fun to play, especially on ladder. It's super competitive, and it can be played a multitude of different ways with and without an extra deck, but I won't talk for too long. We'll go ahead and just hop straight into the replay, so I'll see you in just a second. Alright, so hopping into this first replay, as usual, the first two are going to be relatively quick, and then the third one will be the main one in the thumbnail. But we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going first. We open a pretty decent hand. We're going to activate the Pot of Duality, revealing the Demise, another Pot of Duality, and a Monarch's Erupt, so we're going to be taking the card of Demise here. We're going to activate Terraforming, which was an awesome rip in our opening hand, to add the one of Dragonic Diagram effect, or activate the effect. Are going to set the Monarch's Erupt as well as the True King's Return, and then tribute summon the Dynamite Knight, activate the Card of Demise to draw 3, and then we rip a Solemn Judgment, True Draco Apocalypse, and a Pot of Duality. So we go ahead and set these two, and then activate the effect of the Dragonic Diagram, destroying the Pot of Duality. And then here I kind of mess up a little bit. I should have added a spell or a trap so I could set it, but as of right now I didn't have any way to get out the Ignis Heat, and I could, because of the effect of Card of Demise, I immediately in the end phase had to send it to the graveyard. So a little bit of a misplay on my part, but True King's Return can bring it back if we do get the chance. So we are playing against Synchrons here. They're going to activate the effect of the Junk Converter, sending a Jet Synchron. We're going to chain the effect of the Dynamite Knight to activate ourselves a True Draco, or activate a True King's Return from deck. Junk Converter is going to add them a copy of the Jet Synchron, but we are looking pretty good here against the combo deck. We have a lot of interaction and a skill drain, a one-sided skill drain effectively. So they're going to normal summon the Junk Synchron and then target the Junk Converter with its effect to special summon, but we're going to immediately activate the Monarch's Erupt, which will be, as I said, just a one-sided skill drain on their side of the field. So that effect is going to be negated. They're going to activate the effect of the Jet Synchron, pitching to summon itself back, activate the effect of the Doppel Warrior in hand to summon itself out, and then go into a copy of the Junk Speeder. I'm not sure if they just forgot or didn't know what the Monarch's Erupt does, but whatever. So they're going to go ahead and Junk Speeder will be negated, and then the Doppel Warrior will actually resolve getting 2 tokens out. And then from here, they are going to go into a copy of the Formula Synchron. Again, Formula Synchron will resolve negated, and from there they will just scoop. So probably just didn't have an out to the Monarch's Erupt, and just decided to scoop from there. So quick first replay. We'll get into a second one right now. Alright, so getting into this second replay, we are going second, which is not a position that we like to be in. So they are going to be going first, and I wanted to showcase this one because Herald, Diviner of the Herald, typically means Drytron, and I have no interruption for my first hand. So what I did was I literally set my controller down and was just prepared to be on my phone while they were comboing, because, you know, Drytron takes forever to do their combo. So Diviner sends Herald. Herald is going to add a copy of the Medionis Drytron, and then they just end the turn. I don't know how long I was on my sitting on my phone, but thankfully I was able to just notice that it was my turn before I had to automatically admit defeat. But this is very manageable. I assume that it's just a bunch of hand traps in their hand, and they just bricked really hard. So main one, we're going to activate the Pot of Duality. Again, we're looking pretty good. This is a pretty decent opening hand. So Pot of Duality is going to reveal the Pot, Heritage, and the Dragonic Diagram again. So really nice there. We're going to activate that to Dragonic Diagram. We're going to set 2, set the Apocalypse as well as the Judgment, activate the True Draco Heritage, and then summon over the Apocalypse for the Ignis Heat. And then the Apocalypse effect will pop the Diviner, activate Card of Demise for 3. I'm going to activate the Dragonic Diagram to destroy the Card of Demise, to add a Dynamite Knight, and then activate a second copy of the True Draco Heritage. True Draco Heritage effect is going to let us tribute summon again for the Dynamite Knight, and then the other copy of the True Draco Heritage will allow us to draw 2 additional cards. Set the 1 skill drain, and unfortunately, because of the card of demise, we will have to, of course, I did forget that, you can't do damage the same turn that you activate the other card of demise, but we go to end phase and then discard the Dynamite Knight, which is okay. So our opponent is going to be going, and they just decide to scoop. The only reason that I included this replay was simply because I thought it was Drytron, or I knew it was Drytron as soon as they summoned out the Herald, but they didn't actually end up doing anything with it, and we were able to take this game. They didn't even want to try to fight through our board that we had set up. So we're gonna get it into the thumbnail video right now. Stick with me. I'll be see you in just a second. Alright, so main event thumbnail video, we are playing against Eldlich, and our opponent is going first, and they're going to be able to establish their board pretty quickly. So this was also really interesting. I haven't seen too many people play Reasoning in Eldlich, and this is honestly a really interesting and good way to play the deck, because me personally, I called 4, and I didn't really know exactly how Reasoning works, so I don't even know if that was a good or bad number to call. But if you are going first and you have Reasoning and you're playing Eldlich, because it dumps so many cards, you can get all of your Eldlixirs and the Golden Lands traps into the graveyard to get your engine going. So Reasoning is a really good tech to play in Eldlich. So I selected 4, so they're going to be able to dump a multitude of different cards. That they already have a Sanguine in there, Lightning Storm, and they are also playing Paleozoic traps, which is interesting as well. So they're going to be able to dump a couple of these, and then the Eldlich will be able to special summon itself. And from here, they're going to activate the effect of the Sanguine to set a Conquistador directly from their deck, set 2, and pass it back to us. So 2 control decks going head to head. So we're just gonna see if we can play through this. We opened very interesting. So this top draw and the Pot of Desires is gonna really need to put in some work for us. So off the top, True Draco Apocalypse, not the worst thing in the world. So we're gonna activate Pot of Desires and draw again the Dragonic Diagram. We're gonna set the True Draco Apocalypse and then tribute out the Dynamite Knight. True Draco Apocalypse is going to attempt to pop the Eldlich, and because I knew that they had a set Conquistador, I wanted to force this out as quickly as possible. So in trying to destroy the Eldlich, I knew that it would prompt the Conquistador to come out. Conquistador, and we're gonna chain the Dynamite Knight to the effect of the Conquistador, which they do have the skill drain for us, so unfortunately we will not be able to get out our to use the effect of the Dynamite Knight. And they are going to chain the Paleozoic Dynamiscus in the graveyard, so we are up to chain link 5 here. The Dynamiscus will be able to get out. Skill drain will negate the effect of the Dynamite Knight. Conquistador will come out, destroying our Dynamite Knight, and then the True Draco Apocalypse will destroy the Golden Lord. So Diagram, we're going to activate to destroy one of the judgments to add a True Draco Heritage. And the reason that I got out the True Draco Heritage was for 2 reasons. One, because it gives us an additional tribute summon, as well as if we tribute over it, we are going to be able to out the skill drain. So this is a little bit of a heads up play on my end to kind of deal with the immediate threat. So I'm going to activate the Heritage, set the Judgment, Heritage effect before, and then we're going to use the effect of the Heritage once it's tribute summoned over to get rid of the skill drain. So now our monster effects are back online. We're going to set the Desires as a bluff card, and then just attack over the Dynamiscus for some damage and go into main phase 2. So end phase, we are going to be passing it back over to our opponent. Not in the worst position ever, so we will see what we can do, but they have the Feather Duster off the top. So here I want to be able to protect our Diagram as well as our Pot of Desire, so unfortunately I have to eat a 4,000 Judgment. So we're going to activate the Judgment in response to the Feather Duster, and this will resolve, so the Judgment will negate the Feather Duster, and the rest of our back row will be safe. So from here they're going to activate the effect of the Eldlich, sending their face up Conquistador, and we will chain the Dynamite Knight to get ourselves a copy of the True Draco Apocalypse. So Eldlich is going to be able to return to hand and then special summon itself out. Unfortunately, not a whole lot that we can do here. From here, they are going to activate the effect of the Golden Lord in hand, and they, unfortunately, we didn't have a whole lot that we could do, so the diagram is gone for the turn. So they're going to activate the effect of the Conquistador to set a Sanguine, and then I believe that is all they do for this turn, so they're just going to pass it back to us. So draw phase, we are going to draw. We draw a Disciples of the True Draco Phoenix, and this Pot of Desires is really important. We need a True Draco name and something else really good. So we are going to draw, and we get something real nice. We get the Majesty Maiden as well as a Monarch's Erupt. So this was a really good Desires. So we're going to activate the effect of the Disciples to shuffle back 3 True Draco cards and then draw a card, so just a little bit more advantage for us here, as well as we are running a little low on cards in the deck because we have Desired twice this game. So we draw a True Draco Heritage, which ended up being really good. So we're going to activate the effect of the Apocalypse here, destroying the Heritage, or so destroying the Disciples, which does a couple things. It allows us to lower the attack and defense of the Eldlich that is on the field, as well as the Disciples effect will now trigger to destroy the other set card, which was a Rivalry of Warlords, which was effectively dead. And the reason that I didn't go for the Sanguine was because I knew that they would trigger it regardless, so it wouldn't do anything. So I figured that if the other back row was something notable, then that would probably be the way to go. But it didn't really pay off in the end, but it would just cleared up back row, so they don't have fodder for Eldlich going into subsequent turns. So from here, we're going to activate the effect of the Heritage, and then we're going to use the effect to draw a couple cards. We're going to set and tribute summon over the Heritage for our Majesty Maiden, and then the Heritage effect, we're gonna force out this Sanguine. Sanguine will of course be chained. We're gonna chain the True Draco Fighter here, the Dynamite Knight, to get us a copy of the True King's Return. And then the Sanguine will activate here, getting a copy of the Golden Lord. And then the True Draco Heritage will destroy the already resolved Sanguine. And then I decide to pass here, and the reason that I decided to pass and not attack over this Eldlich was specifically because even if I did get over this Eldlich right now, they would still, depending on what they drew on their following turn, they would still be able to get it back out and even like buffed up even further. So I decided to just leave it as is in its kind of vulnerable state right now. So we're just gonna go ahead and pass it back to our opponent and see what we can do. But we have a lot of back row set right now, so even if they are able to get things going, we have disruption and things that we can do here. So they are going to be just shotgun this copy of the Rail Cannon Gustav Max, and on summon we will flip the Monarch's Erupt just so they can't do any further damage to us. And then they're going to chain the Dynamiscus, and we will chain our Majesty Maiden to add a copy of Ignis Heat to our hand. And from here, the Dynamiscus will be able to get out, and then the Monarch's Erupt will not allow the Rail Cannon Gustav Max to do damage should they want to do that. So they're going to activate the effect of the Eldlich. Eldlich effect will special summon itself out, and they decide to put it in attack. And from there, they just decide to scoop that. From the time, like real time, from the time that they summoned that Eldlich to the time that they admitted defeat was probably, I don't know, like 3 or 4 minutes of just nothing on their end. They were really just deciding what they wanted to do and realized that we just have too much board establishment with the Apocalypse and the Monarch's Erupt, the True King's Return, and another set card that they didn't know. So this game was really just a really good grind game and really just, again, showcases what True Draco is capable of. I would say that True Draco has a really good matchup against Eldlich, and it would be the best control deck if it didn't have bad matchups against just the the other meta decks right now. Eldlich is probably the best control deck as a whole, but when it comes to just control decks, Eldlich versus True Draco, I think True Draco might have a leg up. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. I hope you are enjoying the daily Master Duel content. I hope that you are enjoying the replays and everything that goes along with that. Hit the subscribe button if you are new, and I will see you guys tomorrow with more replays, deck profiles, whatever it may be. So until tomorrow, I have been Spellslinger. Take care.